Hi everyone, welcome to my study office. Just finishing my journal for the day. Please don't switch off, those of you who've struggled with the journal. I'm just going to talk again about the benefits and some personal experiences of it. So please stick with it. Just take a moment to remind yourselves or to have a new go at it again. Let's just talk about the benefits. The physical benefits are now well proven. First is breath, obviously, is just pay attention to your breathing. If you're doing it first thing in the morning, that'll be great because you'll just notice the smoothness of the breath. If you're in an office at the moment, or if you're grabbing some time in a car to do it, just notice physically what's going on. So breathing, temperature, balance, heartbeat. Journal is a great way to do that. It's just to check in with it. Just scribble down what you're noticing. You can just notice what you've been hanging on to physically. And all of us at the moment are hanging on to a lot. If we're spending our days in Zoom meetings or we're going to a place where there's great anxiety, as many of you are, then it's just worth noticing how the metaphorical temperature has gone up and what you're holding on to. There are now well-researched benefits of journaling. James Pennebaker at Austin University in Texas has shown how that regular journaling strengthens immune cells. It's well known that regular journaling can decrease symptoms of asthma, rheumatoid arthritis. It can reduce stress. For me, it's the equivalent of going, I'm going to count to 10. And it slows us down by the very act of actually writing it when we're all so used to keyboards. I think it helps us to be much more aware of our bodies. Also, there's a kind of metaphorical physical thing going on, because often if you're writing about a relationship or a transaction or something, you think, I've got a pain in my neck. Is that a metaphor? Have I got itchy feet? Do I want to run away from it? I mean, it takes a bit of developing that, but it is a huge resource. The emotional benefits are obvious, and I know many of you have experienced that. It's just to capture what you're feeling at the moment, in the moment, and how you're feeling at the end of a day or as a day begins. So are you feeling sad, the kind of overall sadness at the moment, or grief? Are you feeling frustration that you can't get out, that you can't do some of the things you would normally do, that someone's not done something you think they ought to have done? Joy. What can you find joy in? There's plenty of research, as we know, about the benefits of gratitude, and we'll look at that separately. Another proven benefit is the improvement in cognitive functioning. It really helps us just to think through stuff, not in the heat of the moment. It's also well known, and a lot of our colleagues in the psychological community and psychotherapeutic work know that there are great benefits in using journaling to help with depression and anxiety. It just is a stress reducer. Just let's talk a little bit about what you can learn from it using our process and the tools that you can now use anyway. Taking the time to notice what's going on, say in a relationship. It will buy you time to use the critical relationship tool, those of you who know it. Just notice what the triggers are for your response, and it buys you that glorious, rich time in the nanosecond between the trigger and the response to find your pattern. I've had many clients who've done something in the heat of a moment, and the next morning in the journal and working with me have just helped to understand a long-term pattern that they often find themselves in, as we do, in order to be generous with themselves, kind, and understand how that they might change it. I'm very conscious of trying to persuade you. And this brings us to the whole area that many of you are expert in of behaviour change, whether that be health, he said coughing, smoking, diet, all the stuff and the well-known research there is around that. So why is it so difficult to just take a book, write 4 pages? Don't know. I think it's like most of these things, until we've actually felt the benefit, we don't do it. How can you use it? Well, you remember the rules. First thing in the morning, straight, as soon as you can. Just notice 4 pages or fewer. As you'll see up behind me, I have 10 journals. They're 20 years. I do not do it every day. But actually just that spontaneous act of capturing something, not worrying about the structure. It's not a paper, it's not a blog, it's not a report, it's none of those things. It's, as Julia Cameron says, the artist's way at work, where it originally came from, is just be petty, joyous, silly, crude, but also use it to capture things that you're learning in our process. In a private space, don't reread them, although some of the benefits of journaling are rereading. But for us, just to get in the habit of doing it is just do it. Write in longhand and enjoy it. Try and all the time be thinking, I'm not doing this for someone, I'm doing it for me, to help me to learn and grow. What are the objections? I'll wait until I get a nice journal. I can't possibly start on ordinary paper. I just don't have time. I'm so busy. Well, that's true of everyone, isn't it, at the moment? I can't see the point. So that in itself is interesting. I've often worked with clients who say, well, I can't see the point. And we explore what it's like starting something if you don't see the point. Because that's kind of life really, isn't it? And it's certainly life at work. Sometimes you just have to do. Or I will only follow the rules. So the rules have been set as 4 pages. And it's better to just do it, just start. And I'm thinking about behaviour change at the moment, of course, because there might be some internal driver. Gosh, I'm really, in my case, overweight at the moment because I'm not doing my normal walk to Tottenham Court Road that some of you experience. And so what will I do to change? How can I change that? I don't want to, it's too difficult, all the stuff around that. And then there are some things that make change slightly more easy. The external conditions at the moment of lockdown, of the gradual release of that. So what is there that might help us to make some changes? Anyway, just share with me how it's going. I must get back to mine now. Bye.